Hello, friends. Have you ever gazed up in the stars and wondered, are those stars or the helicopters? Is it supposed to rain tonight? Or for me, example, are those birds gonna crap on me because this leather jacket costs too much and I don't? Caca! No, unfortunately, folks, we will not be answering any of those questions because today we present you with a question that many people have probably asked and answered and probably made a few bucks off a movie or franchise or whatever. What would happen if there was an alien race that would come down to Earth? Would they be friendly, kind, or evil, wants to exterminate our human civilization and take over the planet? Well, gentlemen, and to an extent ladies, we present to you a feature documentary on what would happen if aliens did came down to Earth, and what we must do to prevent these causes, and to try to prevent the aliens from taking over our galaxy. For friends, we bring to you our little propaganda film simply known as Destroy All Humans! Hey, can I please make a complaint here? On this blanket, there's like a mustard stain right here, and this thing smells very, very nasty. Did you guys wash this before we filmed? Because it smells like very poor body mucus and stuff, and I don't feel comfortable filming behind this. It's gonna make me kind of dirty and stuff.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Marr Show. Last time on the show, I mentioned one of my old friends from elementary and high school. His name was Nick, and he's an old friend of mine, and one of the friends that I have fond memories of, much like Nerd Thomas and Shadow. But I haven't really seen Nick in a long time, like ever since the middle of after graduating high school. I haven't really seen him since, and he was a kind fellow chap. I mean, he had a lot of big interests. He was a huge Godzilla fan, loved a lot of the Alien movies, and he was one of the people who thought that Michael Bay had an amazing run with Transformers. Yeah. The reason why I mentioned him is because Nick has actually helped me introduce to a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, granted, there's been some movies and games and stuff that I'm not a big fan of, but he introduced me to some of them. And he also mentioned to me a game that I should try out that was on the PS2, released back in 2005. And that game was Destroy All Humans. As I mentioned, he was a big alien fanatic, and if there was a game that had aliens in it or was related to any extraterrestrial of some kind, he would immediately pick it up. And he suggested me this game out of the blue, and to be fair, it's a good game. It's not pitch perfect, or like I wouldn't say it's one of my all-time favorites on the system, but it's actually a really fun game that is actually pretty addicting and not too bad overall. So you play as Cryptosporidium 137, a recent clone made after Crypto 136 dies and gets captured by the US military. Crypto 137 wants to head to Earth to save his last clone, while Orphopox, also known as Pox for short, wants to extract human brain stems to continue the cloning process of the Furon race. So you go around many different locations across the US of A, extracting brains, causing mayhem, as well as trying to find the location of 136. While that's going on, you're being hunted down by a lot of different characters, including tracked down by the police, military, and even the Majestic Agency. I actually like the story here, and I actually kind of feel bad for the Furon race. Basically, they have to clone themselves because during a great war that happened, they lost they can't really reproduce the race. As such, they have to rely on the cloning process. And it's pretty interesting of how human DNA has the right construction to replicate Furon DNA, and it's actually pretty interesting, and you kind of feel sorry for both Crypto and Pox, but overall it's mostly comedy, so you don't really feel that bad for them. I do like Crypto and Pox. Those two are probably the most interesting characters. The humans are kind of generic in a way, but it's mostly Crypto and Pox that you recognize the most. Crypto has his smart attitude and with the plans of total destruction and all that. And honestly, Pox has probably the most funniest lines in the game in my opinion. As for the gameplay, it is kind of GTA-ish, but kind of lower down. You go around 6 different locations in the US of A, and you pretty much destroy a lot of buildings, extract human DNA, and it's pretty interesting. With your Furon abilities, you can actually hypnotize humans and cows to do a lot of different stuff. You can also extract human brains, and it's all really fun to use. The weapons themselves are pretty cool to use. You got the Zap-O-Matic that can electrocute humans. You also have the disintegration ray that can blast them up, and the weapons are all fun, and you also have a flying saucer that you can use. I personally love using the saucer the most, mainly because you're going around the town destroying buildings and seeing cars fly around, and it's all so much fun and giddy. And when I mentioned back of extracting human DNA, you actually have to do that a lot because you can actually get upgrades for your weapons and saucers to cause more mayhem, do more damage. And also you can get upgrades for Crypto as well to strengthen his psyche or his Furon abilities to levitate people up and down and throw them all about. The best part is you don't have to just extract human DNA. If you complete certain missions, you get more DNA. You can also find these hidden robot things that earns you more points. It's all like collectibles that you can find basically. There's like 25 to even like 30 or more in each place, which also encourages exploration, which I like. When I mentioned this game is sort of GTA-ish, it's definitely true because on the top screen you have 4 different circles, which are your alert icons. The first one is pretty much like humans knowing you exist and seeing you run around. The next one will be the police force. The other one will be military, and then finally it's the Majestic Agency, which is the strongest and toughest. The game isn't really that difficult. It is kind of easy at times, but when you do get to the Majestic Agency, especially in Area 51, the difficulty does raise up a little bit, which I appreciate because, well, it's Area 51. They'll blast aliens to whoever comes near. You're just an alien walking down and all of a sudden, boom, you're destroyed by some tank or something. And I do like the difficulty from that. Although visually, to be fair, graphics, it's not that bad. I mean, granted, I do like the designs of Crypto and Pox. The humans are kind of generic, and the whole environment, while very different from one another, has some distance issues. Like, the draw distance in each world isn't exactly big. And there are even times where, especially like Area 51, where you're walking around and then a rock all of a sudden pops up. It's definitely noticeable. It doesn't distract anything from the overall game, but it's definitely not exactly one of the best looking games. It's alright, I guess. In fact, I even had the game crash on me once when I'm at the final boss. Luckily though, I was able to reset and redo all that, but it's not exactly one of the best looking games, but it's not bad either. And while the gameplay is fun, there's only 22 missions in the main story mode, so you'll be looking at probably like say 5 to 6 hours for the main plot. There are other missions that you can use, but those are just mainly used to get you more DNA mostly. And then this is my main nitpick of the game, but as you select the mission, you have to watch a short cutscene where Crypto leaves the mothership and heads back down to Earth. I mean, it's only like a 10-12 second clip, but it plays every time you play a new mission or go to a certain place or something. And it definitely does get old, and you're just waiting there for 12 seconds to pass by so you could just continue on with the mission or story of the game. And that was Destroy All Humans, and it's a fun game. I like it. It's not too bad. I mean, granted, visually it's okay. There are some draw distance issues I have. The game crashing on me once. There are also some few nitpicks, such as that cutscene that keeps playing every time I want to go into a new mission or location. And not to mention the fact that it can be a little bit repetitive with the missions at times. And, I mean, it's not exactly the longest game ever, but who cares? It's not that bad of a game. I mean, the story isn't too bad. It has some funny dialogue, especially from Pox and Crypto. The gameplay itself is definitely the best example of making you feel like an alien taking over the human civilization. And some of the weapons are just too fun to use, especially the flying saucer. I really love using that. And, I mean, it's a great game. Now, there are a few other Destroy Humans games. There was a second one which I played, but don't really have much memory of playing at the time. There was also a game on the Wii, and even one released on the PS3 and 360. Now, granted, the last two games, haven't really heard anything good, per se. There wasn't, like, anyone who said, oh, those two games are even better than this one. And it's been quite a long time since we have seen a Destroy All Humans game. I mean, it used to be owned by THQ. I forgot who owns the license for it now, but who knows, I wouldn't mind seeing it come back to a series, especially with the power of the PS4 and Xbox One. I would love to see what kind of crazy ideas and gameplay mechanics they can use for the franchise. I mean, it would be interesting. But as of now, I definitely recommend picking up the first game and also the second one because it does improve a few things that this one has flawed from. So definitely pick it up whenever you get a chance to. And that's all the time we have for today, folks. So if you would like to leave your thoughts on today's game, just comment below. And if you want to get this game, it's relatively cheap. I mean, it's not expensive. I think I paid like getting a game on the website like $6, maybe $10. I mean, it's pretty cheap. But other than that, it's fun and you're an alien going around blasting stuff. So hooray for alien invasion! And now if you excuse me, what were we doing before? Oh, yeah, going back to Randolph, he had some last-minute words to say or something. Oh, and also, my glasses are now seeing black and white for some reason.
And that was a little propaganda film. Hope you all enjoyed it. And remember, only you can prevent wildfires. Why was that? That's the wrong film. Oh, whoops. And that was our propaganda film. We hope you guys learned a little thing or two about this. And remember, only you can stop the aliens from taking over this race. Or if you're one of those people who hates humanity and wants the aliens to take over, then you're fine. You're fine where you are. You'll be happy to see all of us exterminated and bound down to the great Huron Empire. But if you're one of those people who don't want to be succumbed by aliens, then go grab a gun or shovel or whatever you kids use these days to beat up people. I mean, paper cuts, they work fine, I guess. I'm not sure. Hey fellas, thanks for watching this movie here. If you want to check out some more movies, you can click this one here, and then this one right here. I'm pointing around, correct? I don't know what's going to be displayed over here, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be 2 square rectangular boxes here and here. And I'm hoping I'm getting it correct, because if they're covering my face, I won't appreciate that. Because you're kind of ugly. Also, in all seriousness, this blanket here does smell awful. I mean, I wish you guys would have washed this first, because, I mean, yeah, it smells, smell it, it's awful. Okay, that's it, I'm gonna take this.